We're at the world premiere of the new Volkswagen Transporter series, and it's got a whole new look. Obviously there is that partnership that's there with Ford, but there's still a fair bit of Volkswagen product in it. Let's start off with the exterior design. Now, this is the Panamericana model. It's kind of the rugged version of it, as it were, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It looks great. Unfortunately, in Ireland at least, we're not going to get this version. Well, not initially anyway. Maybe if enough of you people go and ask your local dealer, tell them that you want one, they might consider it. But at the moment, it's not going to be coming to the Irish market. But I think it's still worth showing you what it's like, because this is probably the one that really shows off that new face the best. So you've got all new headlights here, which have a little bit of an influence from the multivan. You can see a little bit of the older Transporter, the 6.1 in there as well, with the bonnet shape and all that, but it does have quite a good kind of more modern look, and it's definitely, I guess some people might see it as critical, it is definitely different looking to the Transit, especially around the fronts. Now, what we will see more of, and I'll show you the inside in a moment, what we will see more of back at home is something like this. This is the more conventional panel van. Now, in Ireland, there's going to be a couple of different lengths. There isn't going to be a high roof. We're only going to stick with this standard roof height, but gives you a bit of a look of what it's like. Again, there's going to be, you know, all the usual sort of features are there inside. There will be various different ways of kitting these out inside with kits from Sortimo and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, general tradespeople will be able to tailor these up pretty well depending on how you want it. But you can see how it looks, at least without the kind of Panamericana treatment. Interestingly, this one is actually the fully electric one, and the charge port is right in there in the front corner, which is actually pretty handy if you're going to pull in, nose in at a charging station. Maybe if you are putting in somewhere and you've got a trailer, for example, might be a little bit easier to have it that way, but it is also right in the front corner, and maybe for some people that might be a bit of an issue in terms of if it gets damaged. It has a slightly different look inside or outside on the front, and then on the inside there's also a much more digital experience. Now, I don't have the key for this particular one, but we can show you first of all. You've got this all digital dashboard on top. Your engine stop start is right up there. I don't have the key. You may hear there's a little bit of Ford sound. You've got a fully digital instrument display in front, and then a slightly larger 13-inch touchscreen display here as well. But you still have a lot of physical buttons inside. For example, the handbrake, the parking brake right here in the middle of the dashboard between the vents is still a physical button. Even the volume has a volume knob here as well, and doing things like activating your cameras, all that kind of stuff, the different drive modes are all done with physical buttons. Even the headlights here, proper physical button there for the headlights, so you can see then what that's like. And perhaps most importantly, the steering wheel has none of these haptic touch sensitive things that we've seen on Volkswagen passenger cars. No, this is a normal physical buttons. I dare say it's almost old school, but that's how it should be. All automatic as well, so the drive shifter is now a column shifter here on the steering column, and that frees up all this space in the center console. Here you've got extra cup holders that pop down, so I'll just move my leg, you can see cup holder pops in out there. And obviously Ford knows that this is an office for a lot of people, so there's a lot of storage space on top. You've got 12-volt sockets, USB-C and USB-A, and 12-volt sockets as well. So you've no reason to not be able to charge up your phones, your devices, an iPad for work, anything like that. The only thing is there's no sort of upper shelf here that you would normally get on some of the taller vans. But overall, does feel quite nice in here. You've got a pretty decent quality. It's a good mixture of kind of hard wearing material, but it still looks kind of nice as well. So it's not bare basic inside. We've already shown you what it's like. I'll just show you around the back. This is the lift back version, but you will also be able to get, I'm sure, a version with the split doors, and you can get a look at what it's like. C-shaped lights there as well. a little bit of bodywork inside. So that's what the back is like. This is the e-Transporter, as I mentioned, that's the electric one. But there is also going to be a passenger version, the Caravelle, so we will be having that as well. There's one of these just over here, so we'll go over and have a look at this, because this will have up to 9 seats available inside. Again, this will be available as electric. In time, there will also be a plug-in hybrid version, and there's going to be 3 different diesel versions across the range initially, which will have a 110, 150 and 170 horsepower outputs. This is what it's like inside. You've got electric opening side doors here. Like with the multivan, there's individual seats in here as well, and that can be really useful if you do want to have a bit more of a versatile setup in here. These outer seats, this one and the one further behind me, have Isofix in it. Also, the 2 outer seats in row 3 also have Isofix. So you've got a number of child seat options that are there as well. And just having individual seats does mean it's a little bit more maneuverable inside in terms of how versatile it is, the setup of it. Even little things like there's USB ports on the base of the seat here on the driver's seat. So if you are sitting in the back, you can do that. You've got useful grab rails here. You've got a button for opening, closing the door here on the side, and you've got vent controls up here in the back as well. So those in the rear can easily reach up and control that. Nice little kind of partly digital display, and look at this huge panoramic glass roof. Easily one of the biggest panoramic glass roofs you're going to be able to get your hands on in any vehicle, but that's great, especially if you are in row 3 there as well. So there's a lot more room inside. But yeah, this was like in the Caravelle. Very, very easy to get in and out of, and as I mentioned, you've got electric closing doors. On the front, you can see a slightly different setup in here as well. So you've got this more captain's chair arrangement, same steering wheel setup, same dashboard setup, but a little bit more space inside there as well. So you can see how it is with all the layout of the dual screens. It's actually quite nicely done in how it's set up, and decent sized door bins here as well. You've kind of got this top shelf, you've got a slightly lower shelf, and room for a good drinks bottle in there as well. So there's plenty of room inside for dropping off, putting up all your stuff in the doors, stowing things away, and there's also a little window there on the back. So this is the Caravelle. Again, there will be a number of slightly different versions, different spec levels as well, and you can see slightly different front end as well on it. Again, you've got your charge port there, this being the electric one. Obviously this will be available with combustion engine powertrains, and in time a plug-in hybrid. But that's our quick kind of first look around this new Transporter series. The order books are going to open pretty soon, so we're in September 2024 now. Order books are going to open very, very soon, and you'll be able to get various different versions. They won't all come at once. You'll get the diesel engines initially, then there will be some electric versions, and then the plug-in hybrid will come last, kind of down the line, closer possibly to 2026, depending on how production goes. If you want to know more about it, head over to our websites and do check out. You'll find them linked in the description below. And yeah, we'd love to know what you think about it. So do get involved in the comments and tell us whether you're a fan of the new Transporter or not.